What is up, everyone? Big day for the podcast. We are making changes. The podcast is changing from Insights into a Soul to the Recalibrate Me podcast. Now, this change, we're going to leave all of the Insights podcasts up in the archive, but we're going to rebrand everything to Recalibrate Me going forward. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, it's going to change. So all of that's going to change over. And I'm doing this with my business partner and girlfriend, Rachel. This is Rachel. Everybody,
Hello.
main camera there. Hello. Hi. So there we go.
About time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's only been a year of this business. But yeah, so we're doing things differently with the podcast, right? Like I've been doing Insights for about 5 years now. Started after my divorce, and it was personal therapy for me. And I know it's helped other people. And I didn't want to lose that personal connection with the podcast because, again, it's a very personal podcast. So I wanted to keep that essence. But then we started this business just almost a year ago. And I wanted to do a podcast around that because big thing for us is we're so big on story and people's stories and businesses and stuff like that. Because to us, business is more than just a business, right? It's a person's story. It's a person's journey and adventure. So I didn't want to start two podcasts because that's a lot to maintain and do. And then like, well, this person was on the podcast and it was a great podcast about business, but it was also a great personal podcast. So I was like, where do I put it? I didn't want to double post. So we decided after a lot of back and forth and inspiration that it was time to recalibrate and redo the Insights into a Soul podcast. So we're retiring the name. And like I said before, it's going to be the Recalibrate Me podcast. So big day, big announcement. Yeah, so we're just going to dive into really what we want to cover on this podcast going forward. And I think we also went with the Recalibrate Me because, well, the ME is also play into media, Recalibrate Media. Ooh, clever. Ooh. But it's also not just a business podcast, not just a creative podcast, but it's a podcast about people. And I noticed a theme through all of my Insights podcasts that I had done over the years that every guest I had on my podcast or every time I had a personal podcast story, it was always a story of someone coming out of something and being stronger because of it, right? And like we've said before, recalibrate doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It just means that there's something that needs adjusting. So it's not fixing things necessarily. It's readjust things because you might be doing some things right and you might just need to tweak the way you do them to do it better. So that's the way it is with life, right? So we decided, recalibrate me. That's what it's about. It's about recalibrating our personalities, recalibrating our lives. And with us making the change to start the business, it was a huge recalibration. It was a huge change, like massive. So yeah, we're going to dive into why we were doing things differently, why we started the podcast. We're going to have some conversation because another thing that happens with us, we riff a lot, especially in the car.
We do.
We just riff. So we're going to do some audio only podcasts as well. We're just going to carry our little mics around with us. And when we have ideas, we're just going to hit record. So we're going to get audio only. We're going to have guests on the podcast. And it's also a service that we would like to offer to people out there as well. If you have a podcast you want to produce, we can produce it for you. So yeah, let's dive into it. So why are we doing things differently? You know, like I said, we chose this name, Recalibrate Me. Went into that a little bit already. Big thing. We wanted to lead by example, right?
Yes.
This is a big thing for us because I know one of the big connectors for us has always been story and people. And we're empaths to a fault.
To a fault,
To
yes.
a fault, yeah. So I think for us, it just seemed right. It's like we talk all the time about being authentic. And what better way to be authentic than with a podcast?
Yep.
Especially like unscripted. Like I've got bullet points, but we're unscripted. We're here talking. And that's what this podcast is going to be. And all of my podcasts have just been getting people on and talking to them. And I know for you, a big thing was leading by example. Like, why is that such a big deal for you and for us?
I guess for us and the way that I see it is, you have to step outside of the box, right? You know, you have to take your shoes and put them in somebody else's. And when you take that step back, when you recalibrate, when you look at things at a different perspective, you're just like, well, what sets you apart, right? What sets you apart from the next person doing something similar or in the same field as you? And, you know, a lot of times it's more so the fact that we we want to set ourselves apart. Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say, oh, go ahead and, do this XYZ, hey, look at this, post, like we can do this for your marketing and all that kinds of stuff. But for us, it's, how can we say, hey, we want to take things into a different direction, or you might need to look at things in a different direction. You're struggling in one aspect, and being creatives, we have to think outside of the box, again, putting yourselves in somebody else's shoes, or taking a look into that mirror, so to speak, and giving that different perspective to somebody who needs it. So when you're talking about us, we're like, okay, well, we're telling you guys to do it, so why aren't we doing it for ourselves?
Exactly.
It's like calling the kettle, black, so to speak.
Yep.
So I think at this point, we just got to put our money where our mouths are and start just doing it.
Yeah, and we've started that already with, like, I filmed some content the other day because I'm always telling people, just hit record, just film. And for me, it's been a challenge because I so overthink, right? I think I had 4 final edits of that video that we just posted. The social media posting every day is not a strategy.
Yes. Hot takes.
Yeah, hot takes. Hot takes. Recalibrate. We got like 27 of these hot takes in different areas. Like, we've got marketing, we've got social media, and we've also got content and content creation. So we're going to be pouring those out over the next several weeks. And then if you have any hot takes that you think would be good, send them in. We'd love to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think also that's a great segue into Recalibrate Media as a business. The big word that we stand on and that we've been pushing is authenticity, right? That's the big word. That's like paramount for us, is authenticity. We want to be authentic. And again, the podcast, I think, is just a great way to be authentic. You have a conversation, right? Something authentic about just having a cup of coffee, sitting down and just talking with someone. Right? Like, we had dinner with one of our friends a few weeks ago, and we had dinner, what was it, like 3 hours?
Oh, yeah, it was
and we
something
just
like
sat
that.
there and we just talked about everything. We talked about faith. We talked about business. We talked about family, life, everything. And it's just fun, right? There's something therapeutic, too, about connecting with people because we crave human connection.
Yes.
And I think with social media, with all that nowadays, people crave connection. They want to connect with the businesses and the brands that they're working with. And that's what we saw. So for me, a lot of times I left different businesses in the past where I was working is because it stopped being about the people or the clients, and it became about the money, the profit. How much can we make? And if we do this or that, how much can we bring in? And then when I heard someone say, hey, let's look at the social medias that are making us the most money and focus on those, that's when I knew it was time for me to step out. I knew it was time to make a change.
Yep.
Because yes, making money is important as a business. So that's where the business plan, the strategy, and what you do comes in, whether it's a service, a product. But the approach to getting there, I always tell people, like realtors, we work with realtors a lot now. Anybody can go to a realtor and buy a house. Just the other day, or a salon, for example. Just the other day, we were in South End having lunch with some friends. There was 4 salons in like a 2-block radius. What makes you different? Why should I go to you to buy a house? Why should I go to you? Well, it's your story, your authenticity, right? What sets you apart? You might be able to connect with someone through social media, through hearing them on a podcast, through seeing them in a video, whether they're offering something simple like, here's some housing advice. You're looking for a house, here's some free advice. You're going to get to know that person through their personality and want to work with them, right? Photography, video. Why come to us? Well, because we actually care about what we do. We're passionate, right? We're not out here throwing out $150 minis just to pay the bills, which we might do because we need to pay the bills. But behind that, there's still quality and effort that we put into it, right? We put our full price effort into every project that we do, regardless of the discount. Because for us, right, we're building these connections. We want to build a relationship with people.
Right.
If you work with us one time, great. But I want that experience to be one of the best experiences you ever had. So you can walk away and say, hey, those were great people to work with. And then recommend us, right? Or build friendships out of it.
Yeah.
So Recalibrate Media. We started this company. And originally we started, what was it? It was a marketing with digital marketing agency.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we realized we don't like marketing in the traditional way. Because marketing is all about selling a product. It's all about making money off of people. And we want to create connection. So for us, like I just said, connection is more important to me than just marketing and just making you money. I want to build lasting clients that continually come back to you and refer you, right? So our 2 lines that we've been working on right now, it's we don't just create content, we create connection. Helping your brand resonate, reach, and be remembered. And at the foundation, that's why we kicked out the marketing side of things, right? We're not a marketing agency. We're a digital media agency. Is that what we're calling ourselves?
That's what we're...
Because we're not like, we didn't want to be content creators. We didn't want to be like just, we wanted to be more than that, like full service. And that's been the challenge even over the past year of figuring out what the hell we actually do.
Yeah.
Because I've been in this industry for over 20 years. You've been in the creative space. You've been in management. You've been in scheduling and bookkeeping and all that as well for several years.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that experience together, and where she's admin, I'm creative.
Yes.
It's not to say she's
That's
not
the
creative.
joke.
But yeah, she's admin. She helps keep
I'm
everything
admin.
organized, send invoices, emails, follow up, all that stuff.
Mainly keep you on track.
Mainly keep me on track, yeah.
Kick you in the ass when you need it.
Some days I need it, right? Some days, like, hey, I need this to post on social, to post on Facebook. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And it's great to have that, partnership and friendship, because I think on another podcast, we'll get into our story more. But the bottom line is we've been friends for 11 years now. Mm-hmm. We were friends way back, 11 years. We did conventions together and covered conventions and did all his media stuff. And one thing led to another in life. Here we are together in a relationship. And some people say, hey, do you want to start a business with your partner? Yeah. Especially when you two align in so much and your personalities are so similar. The cat's crunching. You can't hear it on the microphone probably. Yeah, right? Like it's interesting being in this position, because I know that from my perspective, I can talk to you about anything with the business. Finances are not off the table, right? And you don't usually talk finances or real personal stuff with business partners or your boss.
Right.
But us, like, we get into that, right? Like, we're in life every single day together. Mm-hmm. We know what's going on. We know what bills are coming up. We know what we have to do to get by and to survive. But also, our goals are shared goals. It's not just making somebody else a bunch of money. Our goals are shared goals of, hey, we want to buy a house one day. We want to live here one day. We want to have A, B, and C one day.
Right.
And this stuff for our kids. And so I think when you're joined in that partnership of wanting more than just, let's make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
The business is easier. And you're more motivated, right? Like, I'm more motivated. Like, today has been crazy motivation. We've done a lot today.
Today started out weird, and then I started out with a very brutally honest conversation.
Which you need to have them sometimes.
And that's usually how this riff goes, right? Like, we just start going one thing after another, one idea after another, and one motivating factor after another, and then you're sitting in your kitchen on your dining table having a podcast.
And it's funny too, because like I said, nothing's off the table, right? No. So because we know the intent behind our words, like today, I even made some criticisms towards you.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, listen, this is not me saying anything negative about you, but this is what I've observed in the past and what you've done. And this is what I've been seeing you do with the business. I think you can do better. I think you can do more. And sometimes you need to hear that, right? Like, sometimes also we get in our own heads and we don't see it. So, like, just I'll expound on this example a little bit. So we were talking about the business, and honestly, we haven't been doing everything we can to really make this successful and really dig in and make it work, right? That's what we're changing. We're focusing on. And, Rachel's kind of avoided doing social media stuff and things like that because she doesn't feel like she knows it as well as she could. So we just had a very honest conversation where I was like, listen, you, at your previous job, you were a manager. You were in charge. There was a lot of stuff that was put on you that you didn't know how to do, but you figured it out. And you kicked ass, and everybody looked at you as the guiding light, as the beacon. Hey, if we need to know something, Rachel's got us, and you help that business and everything, right? You've done that everywhere you've been. So I was like, with that business, you kicked yourself in high gear, and sure, you had times where you struggled, but you were like, okay, I'm going to figure this out and get it done.
Right.
And I was like, you haven't been doing that with this business, right? Like, people want something or need something. You're just kind of like, oh, I don't know how to do that.
Well, some of it's also getting in my own head, and then you kind of get kicked around for a little bit. And
the struggle I see in having your own business and doing this kind of thing is when there's no expectation at the end of the day. Like, if I don't do this, I get fired.
Right.
Right? Or you have like expectations from a boss. The difference is for us, if we don't do it, we don't pay the rent.
Right.
We don't have food on the table, right? So
Right.
the stakes are different, but still similar as far as a paycheck. But it's harder to motivate, I know for me, when I don't have a boss that's like, hey, why didn't you do this today? Why didn't you do this today? Because if I don't do it today, it doesn't freaking matter, right? Like if I'm creating content for myself, I've got 27 videos I want to create and edit. I've edited one. Doesn't freaking matter if I don't do it tomorrow. It's not due Wednesday. It's due whenever the heck I want to put it out. But that's the problem.
Right.
Is that you learn a new level of discipline. And that's what I'm learning is a new level of discipline in what I do. Because if I'm doing a project for a client, I do photos for them. I'm not just sitting on it. Those things are done usually the next day.
Yep.
Or some samples are sent that night.
Yep.
Like so why don't I do that to myself, right? Like, why don't I build you a library? Here's 10 videos that you have to post, and then I can work on the next set, but we're set up for 10 weeks or whatever, right? So that's the thing. And even with you, right? Like, I know there's things that you've been working on where you're just kind of like, I'm going to drag my feet on it because there's no real pressure to get it done.
Right.
Until you get to that
what
milestone.
can I say? I like working under pressure.
Yeah, right. I do too. That's the problem. I do as well. So, so that's been kind of our little story as we start recalibrating. We've been trying to figure it out because, like I said, we're coming up on a year. Trying to figure it out.
A couple months, yeah, before a year.
That's what I'm saying. We're coming up on a year.
Yeah,
a couple months. We're almost there. Right. So with that, the big thing for us, like I said before, has always been people. We're empaths. Story and connection is paramount for us, and that's why it's part of our mission statement, our website, everything we do. And we want to work with clients more than just a big hit of, okay, cool, we took some cool photos for you, but what? Why, right? This Simon Sinek's book, Why, and start with why. We should read that together and do a podcast where we talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really had to figure out our why. And now we just have to figure out our who. Who are we going to work with? We've been trying to figure out what industries we want to target. And again, I've been like a shotgun. I've been everywhere because I can do so much. I can do photography. I can do video. I can do audio. I can do this, that. Like, there's so many things I can do. But you asked me honestly today, what do you want to do? What do you enjoy doing? What do you like doing? And for me, it's storytelling. I love sharing people's stories in whatever form it is, whether it's photography, right? We did an engagement session. That's their story.
Yep.
These beautiful photos where you can see their love and emotion in the photo. We do these interviews with people. We did an interview with a builder. You can see his genuine care for the building that he creates, the architecture. We talk to realtors, loan officers, whoever it is. That's one thing that I've always felt that I've been good at, and people have told me, is getting the story out of people. Like, oh, you're so natural to talk to. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here. And I want to further that. So that's where the Recalibrate podcast comes in. That's where the business comes in. We're just really digging in, and we want to just work with people that want to do something different, right? Like the post today, right? Just posting every day is not a strategy. You've got to have a plan. And we've been working on the back end. I was really fired up today too, talking about some stuff for this real estate client that we're working with, thinking of ways to take his stuff and just really kick it up to the next level, and really put in, because I know what I'm capable of. I got to do it, and I want to do it because I don't want to just do a project that's good. Oh, that was good. That was great. I want to do a project that was freaking amazing. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
That was an experience.
Yeah.
And, we kind of had that with the photos that we did.
Yes.
We got published in the Charlotte, the
Real Producers.
Real Producers Charlotte. And just a quick little story here. This client that we work with, he messages me one day. He's like, hey, are you free this Wednesday? Like a day or so. I need to get some new photos taken. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Because we've been doing some video stuff with him. And we go and we set up, and he takes the photos, and he looks at the back of the camera and he's like, holy shit, these are amazing. So much better than what the other person did. So much so that he hired me for 2 shoots to do all the photos for this magazine editorial that he was being featured in. And the magazine cover featured my portrait of him, one of them. And it was just that thing. And he even got on the phone and told the magazine, he's like, the guy you sent me, he really shouldn't be doing photos of people because he was terrible. Listen, everybody starts somewhere. I love to help people learn. So if you want to learn photography, video, reach out.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, hey, if
That's
that
something else I want to
person,
do. We're going to start doing tutorials and lessons because I want to help people grow. I want to help people learn. Because for me, I didn't get to where I am without other people helping me. Other people have come alongside me and supported me and taught me stuff. So story and connection, again, it's all about people. Like I said there with my story, people helping me, people reaching out and coming to me and working with me working with other people. It's all about connection, helping people, and just building stuff that really is quality. Recalibrate. Like I said, we've already discussed the name, why we chose the name, our 2-line statement.
Yeah.
We talked about our approach to business and what we want to do.
Yep.
We will be putting out some packages for content packages for photo, video, and social media content creation.
Yes.
We're even throwing around the idea of helping with social media management because I know it's something a lot of people like. Because here's the big thing. With a business, your business, you're already doing what you do and you're focused on your industry. Let's say you're a beekeeper and you make honey. You don't want to have to figure out how to be a photographer, a videographer, how to edit videos, how to post it, coming up with content, right? You might have some ideas. You might have some inspiration. Like, hey, I got a cool story
designer.
Graphic designer, right? You might have the inspiration of, bro, bees are cool. And this is
Yeah.
why I got into it, right? Let's share that story. And then let us help you create the content. And even sitting down and coming up with content, like this one client we're working with, we sat down and we came up with a list of different ideas that they could posts we could create, videos that they could create to be featured in, because that's the big thing. Right now, if you're not getting on camera and talking to your audience, you're not going to grow. That light's just like rotating in the back right there. It's fine. It's not in the shot though.
Oh God.
It's going. Okay, it's fine. It's real. It's raw. It's Recalibrate. But no, that's the thing, right? Like, you don't want to have to learn a whole new industry. So let us help you. Let those of us who specialize in this and enjoy it do it. And, it can be as simple as you, again, beekeeper. You go out and you film yourself doing the bee stuff and send us the videos. We can edit it. We can help with graphics and a graphic package for it and make everything look great, music, and then send it back to you and just post it. Or we can help with the posting and all that stuff. We can help come up with captions, ideas. But that's the thing, right? We want to be full service. We're not just photo. We're not just video. We're not just all this. We want to be that full service agency that can help you with your business and with your brand.
Yeah.
Because especially like, not just like small businesses, but small businesses and larger businesses, there's a reason why they started their business.
Yeah.
There's a reason someone saw a hole in the industry that they're in or thought of a new way to do it or even a way to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exciting. That's interesting, right? I think a lot of times too, and I've seen this in big businesses, people lose that. They lose focus. They forget the journey and they forget who they are in the process. And again, it does become a machine. It becomes about money. Sadly, I've seen that at a few companies I've worked at. And I think the big thing is I don't want people to lose sight of why they do what they do.
Right.
Why they got into it. If you say you're all about people, then be about people. Then your stuff should be about people and that story should be out there.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, with social media, people can sniff out fake so easily. They know when you're not being authentic. They know when you're just trying to sell them on something. You see these like all these ads I get for video creator course have a $70,000 a month retainer. I'm like, bro, you don't have a $70,000 a month retainer. Like, well, how am I going to get one and you get one? Or the thousands of people that signed up for your course. Not every single one of these people is having, $50,000 months.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be selling so many if it was the case. Or the other one that I'm really tired of is the one to help people get views.
Oh.
Get 1 million views on your Instagram posts or your reels. Views don't matter.
No.
What you do with the content matters.
Well, I think nowadays also is people view social media as this bag of money, right? And the more bags of money that you have, the more successful you are, right? But then you get to a point where people are done being talked at.
Yeah. Which become one of my taglines, huh?
Yeah, they're done being talked at. We have, as a society, taken these platforms that we have, and we have created this aspect where it was social media, where we become social interactions. We are creating connections with people.
Sharing our lives, yeah.
We're sharing our lives. We're talking about, our family. We're, sharing our vacation, or whatever. But now it's what can we sell you?
Yep.
How do we make money off of you? And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but you're taking the social out of social media.
Exactly. And I think that's why so many businesses struggle with social media, because, well, I don't know what to post. Yeah, because you're just trying to think of sales and business stuff.
Right. I'm just a dollar sign to you. So why should I, want to use your services or connect with you? Well, that's why. Because I'm, you're not being authentic with me. You're not being, I cannot humanize you. Mm-hmm. And that's essentially the struggle that we're running into, is humanizing each other on these platforms, and that's what you're talking about, is sniffing out the authenticity of people.
What did I say earlier? You wrote it down. Do you remember what it was? Something like a megaphone. I don't remember what it was now.
Oh,
I said something really good. And you wrote that down.
You did. I don't remember.
Dang it. I don't remember now. But it was essentially like,
it's not even in your notes either, is it?
No, because you wrote it in your notebook.
No, I didn't. No, what I wrote in the notebook was stop taking social out of social media.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's my hot take,
My
folks.
whole thing was too, like, I don't remember what it was now, but it was something about be a megaphone, basically. Like, don't be noise, be a megaphone for your voice. That's what it was. Don't be noise, be a megaphone for your voice.
What it was.
I got some great one-liners, man. I'm going to write a book.
You need to write a book.
And I think that book is going to be called Insights into a Soul.
Look out.
Look out.
Look out. Look out.
Self-published. So, I mean, that's the big thing, right? That's the kind of last thing we wanted to wrap up with, too, is stop taking the social out of social media. Mm-hmm. Because I think we've lost that, right? And like I was saying before, I think that's what businesses struggle with, is that they're just trying to think of what to post business-wise. Yeah. And they struggle. I don't know what to post. Post about my sales. Post about my product. Yeah, nobody cares. Right? Like, I'm going to go to your website if I like your product. Mm-hmm. Right? That's why I get behind so many products like Ghost Lifestyle, all of that stuff. All the creators I follow, it's because I'm following their stories, their journeys. Peter McKinnon, one of my favorite creators. I buy his crap religiously that's branded that... Do I need that backpack that's that much money? No. It's a great backpack. Don't get me wrong. Nomadic, Peter McKinnon, 35-liter backpack. It's great. Love it. Yeah, Peter McKinnon. You can't see it on
can't see
cameras.
It. Dang.
But there's a photo, a limited edition photo. That's my inspiration of his bucket shot. But the reason I buy that stuff is because I've connected with that person who genuinely cares about creating and creativity and people and story. So I'll buy his overpriced backpacks. I'll buy his, filter systems and stuff like that, because they are good products. Yeah. But I could buy the same thing for half the price, maybe somewhere else. And it's a good product still. But again, it's because I want to support that creator, that person that's doing something, because I love their message. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we want to be, right? We want to be a business that you support because you like our message. Not only is our stuff good, like I'm on these Facebook groups of photography and people are putting out their ads, and, we're going through that trend again, I think, especially where, just because you have a nice camera that has a detachable lens doesn't mean you're a professional photographer. I'm going to say it now. I'm sorry. That doesn't make you a professional photographer. And I'm the type of person, I don't genuinely believe that anyone can be an amazing photographer. I think you can make anyone a good photographer, teach them the basics, they can be creative. But there's just a certain level of people with any art that excel in that art because they just have a natural affinity for it. Right. Or they put in the time and the dedication, they become amazing at it. And so I'm not saying that I'm amazing or I'm like, up at the top. There's so many photographers out there that are better than me that I look up to. But in my arena, in our area, I think I can hold my own against some of the best in this area because I've been doing this over 20 years. And then I look at some of the people that are putting their stuff on Facebook, that are advertising their market. I'm like, your photography is not great. You can learn, you could become great, but what you're charging people for what you're producing isn't there. Right. Right. And like people ask why your prices, well, nobody really asks why your price is so
No,
high.
we
But,
feel like
yeah,
sometimes.
I hate charging. That's another reason I have her, because with the admin, I let her do the pricing.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, I let her send the invoice. Hey, here's your quote. And then it's like, yeah, you got it.
I can see the value in you and
Yeah.
in the work that you
so again,
do.
for me, right?
you
It's
know?
like you're not paying for you're not paying for just the product. You're paying for the experience, right?
Right.
Because of my knowledge in all the programs that I'm capable of, all the plugins I have, all the stuff and the tools I have available, and the resources,
Yep.
and the knowledge. 20 plus years of video editing and photography.
You're not just going to show up and take a couple of pictures. You're literally going to be there shooting people,
We did
doing
the
things.
convention
Yep.
for Motown Con back in October.
Yep.
They ended up with 1,200 pictures from a day of the convention.
Yeah, that was. I think that was like maybe 8 hours.
Yeah.
Something
And
like
I didn't have
that,
a shot
'cause-
list or anything going into that. I've done a lot of events. But I did the President's Club in Mexico. There's like 3,000 pictures from that, right? And that's marketing material that they can use for months to come.
Yep.
And I think if people get into a good system of producing content monthly or working with us monthly, we can help them produce it. Because again, with my experience, I can do things quicker so that I can be more efficient. So, it's not going to take me, it might take someone 3 days to edit something or to create something or to do something. It might take me 1 day. That doesn't mean that you should only pay me for 1 day of work. That's because my experience and my efficiency
Yeah.
benefits you, because you're going to get your product
And
faster.
it's
You're going to get a better product.
Right. It's a quality of product as well.
I hate charging. Listen, I say this over and over again. My business plan is to win the lottery.
Yeah.
Because I would do this for free. I really would. I would love to work more too with nonprofits and different organizations. But I would do this for free. I would do this for any small business that they can't afford it. We can't afford, $1,600 for this or $2,000 for that. Let me do it for you for free. You're a bakery, throw me some food. I'll do it, and I'll give you thousands of dollars worth of content for free. But I'm not there yet, right? We got bills to pay. We got a lot to catch up on. So if you want to book with us, recalibratemedia.com. Check out our services there. But yeah, like I said, we're working on some packages that are more accessible to everybody to help you get content out there. Consultations, even, we're going to start doing that, because we've had a lot of people come to us and ask us for advice. And that's funny. One of the people that we hopefully will work with messaged me the other day and like, maybe could you get your girlfriend on the call too? Because, she's really like a social media guru. And I'm laughing because I'm like, she's not a social media guru. She just understands.
I can
people.
be if you want
Can
to.
be.
If you want me. If the
more than
price is
anything-
right.
Yeah, the price is right. $20 is $20. No, but the reality of it is that you're a people person. You know how to connect. You know how to relate. And at the core of it, that's what people just lack in
I
business.
observe.
Yeah.
That's literally all you have to do.
Talk all you want about trends and algorithms. Trends come and go. Right? You post something and you can get on trend. And this goes back to my conversation about the millions of viewers. I popped off on TikTok. Had almost 10,000 followers off of one video. Had still getting views, 1.2 million views on one video, several 100,000 on some others. Like it was a trending thing of me. The one video was me filling a cup with water. It was a waifu cup from the company Gamer Subs that never acknowledged me. I'm still sad about that. And it just popped off for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, 1.2 million viewers. What did that do for me? Nothing. Didn't really get anybody to follow my stream. Didn't really get anybody. I mean, there are a lot of people that still follow me and like my content that I'm creating because there's so much variety to what I post. But it didn't do anything for me. So you can create something viral. You could do a stupid dance and make a ton of views. Now, granted, if you're on YouTube or something like that, views do convert to money. Instagram likes to see the views. Oh, this person, we need to be pushing it. But at the end of the day, if you're not converting customers, because let me tell you right now, the ad revenue that you get from views and stuff, not that great. It's minimal. Like when I was streaming on Twitch, I made, a few $100s a month. It wasn't bad, but that was like 50 something people actively in my streams and doing stuff, right? Tipping me and doing things like that. So it's not a sustainable lifestyle. That's why, sure, you're getting the views, but why don't you create something that lasts a little bit longer too? Maybe it's not just trendy. It's great to do trendy things, right? But not for the sake of being part of the trend or just getting the views. Do something. Maybe there's a topic that's trending and you do something about that. You do a story about that. You talk about that. You put yourself out there. Something like that's just an example.
I mean, I think that goes back to just kind of circling back and maybe wrapping it from here. What is our two-liner is that exact essence, right? We want to help you resonate, reach, and be remembered. Because if your content's not being remembered, no one's going to know who you are, right?
Yep. We want
You're just another scroll on the.
We want to help you resonate in people's minds, right? That's something I tell people all the time. Remain top of mind. When I worked with loan officers for years, that was the thing. You buy a house maybe once in your life.
Yep.
You don't need a loan officer every day, but you need a reason to follow their social so that when you do want to buy a house or you have a friend that wants to buy a house, oh, yeah, I follow this loan officer. They're a great person, great personality.
Right.
You know, give them a call. You want to resonate. You want to be remembered, right? So that's where that reach comes in and that resonate and that be remembered. But that resonating too. I like resonating because it's different than just being remembered, right? Like it's something that resonates with a person. It creates a connection. Right. Like, oh, that resonates with me. That resonates in my heart and my soul. So you have a business that connects with something. You really care about people. Show how you care about people. You're a family person. Show that. Show in your stories when you're going on vacation, when you're hanging out with your kids, right? You don't have to put your kids' faces on there, but you can talk to the camera and say, hey, you know, I'm out today with my family. You know, we decided to do this today. We went to the pumpkin patch. And, you know, and you're just having fun. You're living life.
What's relatable?
Because people want to connect with real people.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think the age of celebrities, Matt and I talked about this on a podcast. Go listen to the one that I did with Matt a few episodes back. But, you know, I think the age of celebrity is dying. Mm-hmm. Celebrity endorsements don't really do anything anymore. It's influencers. Yeah. But influencers that are real people. Because even the fake influencers are starting to fade out. And people are starting to remain with the genuine people that have genuine stories. And then the reach. Right? Big thing for us is reach. We want to expand your reach. We want 100 good views that turns into 20 clients is better than 1 million views that gives you 2 or 3 clients, right? Right. Like that's what we want to do. So we want to create content that's relevant to your business. So, I mean, look, there's a lot of R's in this. Re and recalibrate really kind of fit the whole thing. But like, that's our philosophy. And that's how we structure everything is that we just want to help people resonate, reach, and be remembered. We want to make a personal connection with people. We want to reach an audience for you and reach more people and then be remembered. People are sticking around. People are buying your products. People are doing stuff with you. And that's where we come in, where we want to lead by example. Yep. So you can't tell people get on camera and do it unless you do it. It's like my first time on camera, I think. Yeah, like, it's your first time on a podcast, too. Yeah.
That's not my choice, by the way.
Listen, anyway, the time wasn't right, okay? The stars haven't aligned. But here we are. We're here. Okay, we're here. But yeah, it's you know, like you hear do the damn thing, right? It's everybody has a powerful camera in their pocket. So, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm selling people and stuff, but realistically, yeah, you have a camera in your pocket. You might not want to edit the content, but you can make it and we can edit it for you, right? So it's like take some of that burden off of you so that you can focus on your business and being the best that you can be. And that's what we're trying to do. You know, we're trying to be the best that we can be. So we're creating content. You look at the reels that I'm making. That's the kind of stuff that we can make for people, right? Yep. Let's show them what we can do. Show them what we're capable of. The podcast.
If we can't do it for ourselves, how can other people? Again, going back to the beginning of the whole conversation.
Yep. Like, well, I'm not going to tell you, oh, you should be posting 3 times a week if I'm not posting 3 times a week. I'm not going to tell you to create reels if I'm not creating reels. I'm not going to tell you to do a podcast if I'm not doing a podcast. If I'm not willing to talk about my business and do that stuff, then why in the hell would you want to? Yep. Right. So I struggle too when I go to people's pages and, you know, their media and stuff like that. I don't know. Are you judgy? I wouldn't say judgy.
Are you judgy?
I don't know how to say judgy, but I see how things could be better.
Got him.
And I'm willing to work with people to help them be better. There are some times where I look at them like, that's terrible. That's horrible.
Listen, sometimes people just need to be brutally honest.
Like one of the clients we work with, he said that to me. He's like, be honest with me. Be brutally honest with me.
You need
because
to be,
some people, that's the way and that's another thing about working with people. is that what I love about people is figuring out the people, figuring out how they tick, how they operate, because not everybody works the same way. When you get into coaching and that kind of stuff, leadership, not everybody learns the same way or takes the same kind of feedback.
No.
Clients are the same way. So like the one client we're working with, he's like, be brutally honest with me. Hit me. Tell me this sucks. Tell me this is terrible. Tell me how I need to do it. Because he isn't going to get better unless we give him that feedback. We can be like, that was a great take. Fantastic. We got it. And it can be terrible. And it's my responsibility, the burden on me as someone who's been doing this for so long to be like, you know what? That was not good. Your energy was off. You weren't doing a great job. Let's do it again. And here's how you can do it better. Here's what I think you should do. So it's learning that, right? And then some people, hey, you know, I saw this. Like, what do you think about this? And you approach it differently. So it's that personal connection that you establish with people, that trust that you build.
That's really what it is.
It's trust. Mm-hmm. Big trust. And that's, again, everything, the foundation of what we do is people, right? It's
if you ask us for an opinion, you're going to get an opinion.
And that's why we say content with intention, right? So we're going to be doing this podcast. We're going to get on. We're going to talk about business stuff sometimes. We're going to talk about personal stuff sometimes. We're going to have some guests on. Eventually, we'll have an actual podcasting space instead of the kitchen.
Hey, listen, whatever works for now, right?
Yeah, now, whatever works. Yeah, exactly. You got to do it, right? You got to do it. You got something simple. You got to set up, make it happen. You don't need all the lights to do everything, but that's something I'm going to do as well. I want to do some simple stuff as far as maybe you, like I said earlier, you have the camera. How can I make it look better? Well, let me show you. Let me help you set up your lights. Let me help you learn how to use your phone better, because there's apps out there that can make your phone like this right now. We're shooting the 2 side angles on iPhone 16s. 16s, 15s?
15s.
iPhone 15s. We're shooting on iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Yep.
And it's in 4K, it's in 24 frames, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, comparing it to my R5. So you're comparing over there. Hi. So you're comparing a phone that you have on a monthly payment plan.
That's a phone.
Versus, that's a phone. Yeah, the phones.
That's a phone.
Phones. But you're comparing it to a $6,000 camera and lens. Yeah, that thing's going to look better.
Yeah.
But it's also a bigger workflow.
Yes.
There's a lot more to it. You don't necessarily need to have that to do it, right? Like, you don't need it.
Want to know more? There's a package for that.
There is. And that's the package we have. We have the photography package, the video package, the social package. And then we have the, hey, you already know how to do this stuff, or you know how to shoot, and we can help you edit, and we can help you create the graphics and make it look great. And I'll come in and teach you about lighting. I'll teach you about audio. That's another thing. People, get a microphone. They're not that expensive anymore. They're like under $100 now for a good Bluetooth mic that links to your phone. Because listen, if I get on a video and your audio is garbage, I'm scrolling, right? Like, you can have a phone quality video that doesn't have the lighting and have terrible audio, and I'm done. We're going past this. And then, listen, we'll get into this on another podcast. On how to create
I was going to say, got them on a tangent.
One more free
oh my
tip.
Gosh.
Free tip for the day.
Y'all now gone and done it.
Turn your music down. I know you want to use trending audio, but when you can't hear yourself, watch your video before you post the dang thing. That's a whole nother topic too. But turn your music levels down, your voice levels here. Your music should be like down here, like 24 to 30 decibels, right? Because I want to be able to hear you. I don't want to be fighting the music, whatever crazy music you got on there. And then the other thing, make sure you check your content before you put it out. There was a really nice produced video that a big creator we follow posted the other day. And I'm watching this video, and it instantly
hurt my heart.
One shot
really hurt my
that
heart.
was on the screen for like a second, maybe half a second. It was a cut.
Yeah.
And they didn't color grade it. It was still that flat log footage. And I was instantly like, oh my God. Even, Rachel, she's a little bit more tuned to it now, but she's like, oh, average person probably won't notice. But like, oh, something was off about that.
Everyone's like, oh, that's great.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you, as an editor, how do you not watch your video 14 times before you post it? I watch the video several times before I post it to make sure that something's not wrong. And sometimes it's like, all right, you know what, that's it. If the caption doesn't line up properly or whatever, it's fine, it's good. But visually, like,
and it was like a big announcement video
big announcement
too
for her company, yeah. The video, like, cool concept, cool design, really happy for the creator. But man, I don't want to like be a troll, so I don't want to be like, hey,
yeah,
this is a great video, but there's a shot in here. Because again, unsolicited advice isn't always great. Unsolicited feedback's not great either.
You mean the keyboard warrior?
Yeah, right. And, and like that's the thing. Like, what separates me from some other Joe schmo?
that-
They're like, oh,
that cat meme.
But yeah, so use your phones, make the content, turn your music down, and double check your videos, triple check your videos before you post the damn thing.
Have somebody else look at your
Somebody else
video.
look at it. Yeah, that's great advice. Again, we're gonna get into a whole nother episode about content creation, but have somebody else look at your video, put some other eyes on it, and not just your friend is going, oh yeah, it looks great, or your girlfriend. Like somebody's gonna be brutally honest with you. Like, oh no, I've done that with Rachel. I put something out, or I created a title, or something. She's like, yeah, I don't like that. It just doesn't connect.
You
here.
posted a story the other day, and I was like, you spell good.
Yeah, I was like, dang it. I was also running off like 3 hours of sleep. I stayed up till 7 a.m. working, so I was sleep deprived.
You spell good.
I spelled good. Listen, I'm not known for my spelling skills. I'm known for my creation, my photography and video. And
Still
editing.
supposed to check it.
That's what you're for. To turn my phone. Hey, can you read this? Is this right?
English good.
Yeah, I English good. So yeah, we'll wrap up this podcast. So quick recap: Insights into a Soul is being retired. New name: Recalibrate Me podcast. Still going to be about life, love, and everything in between. It's about business, but it's really just about everything now, and it's just the right time. Like I said, it's time to recalibrate. Time to recalibrate the podcast. I didn't want to give up the name. It's really special to me, but it was just the right decision. It's the right time. Don't want to spread myself too thin, and we've got so many great stories to tell. And so
Now
much
you just
advice.
write the book, and then you have the name.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're working on it. Lots of things going on. So yeah. So thanks for joining us for this inaugural episode of the Recalibrate Me podcast.
Hooray!
Now I got to find new music and create new graphics and get all this stuff ready to post. But yeah.
But that's the fun part.
Yeah, that is. Fun.
That's really...
I've really started to find that spark again of creativity, of enjoying it. Like when we filmed those, all those social videos the other day, the reels, I was having fun. I was enjoying myself again. I don't like being in front of the camera. It's weird. I'll do a podcast and talk, but like scripted stuff is hard for me. And I need a teleprompter so that I'm not looking down and then looking back at the camera.
I think the best ones were when you just went off script.
Yeah. Well, the problem is going off script is great, but I need my guidelines at least to bring me back, because
You
I
rant.
don't need... I get passionate, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, this, and then like the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
This leads into this. And another thing. Let me tell you about social media. Yeah.
We're still in it.
We're still in it. 48 minutes. Most of my podcasts are 30, 45 minutes to an hour. It's fine. Yeah.
Fine.
So if you
Guys
made it this
like
far,
us.
thank you. Smash the like and subscribe button. Share the podcast.
You made it
let
this
people know.
far, there's a deal for you.
Deal for you. Special package. Yeah. But no, that's it's time to recalibrate.
Code word wreck me.
REC.
REC at me.
Yeah, record me, put me on camera, not like, anyway, it's gonna get weird. But yeah, I ramble, right? I rant because I get passionate about things. So anyway. All right, cool. We'll wrap it up there. So until the next episode, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll be bringing you these regularly. I don't know how often, weekly, bi-weekly, don't know. But we want to do it regularly. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I've got like 10 or 12 topics written down
We
for
just need to sit
insights.
down and do it and
Yeah,
just
just do the dang thing.
roll it.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay creative. I don't know. Like, I need to sign off. Until next time, be authentic. Until next time, recalibrate. I don't know. What's a good ending? We need a good sign off.
I don't know.
A good one. We need a good sign off. Gotta work
Give
on
us
that.
some
suggestions for a good
suggestions.
sign-off, yeah.
Comment some suggestions.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.